So whenever you look at this team, they run the ball all over the place.
Yeah.
Trent can move. That's a big weapon for them. Now, I know he tips plays, says somebody online, and Warren
Can't
can't have that. He tips plays. But having the ability to have that type of run scheme, have the personnel to be able to do it, you add a player like Christian McCaffrey in the middle of the season. They seemingly have gone all in to win. That's why Dr. York got a game ball. He was a cancer and a researcher before he retired.
Pathologist, yeah.
Pathologist, cancer and yeah, you get it. Researcher. That's why he's Dr. York. Has a lot of money, owns a team now. Are they stoppable? And are they only stoppable if Jimmy G doesn't play well? Because that seemingly is the conversation about why Jimmy G might not be the quarterback there for the future, because he can't get it done. If he can get it done, do you believe that's the case? And if he does, what do they do with him? Because he's a free agent at the end of the season, Darius Butler.
Well, first of all, I think he can get it done. Obviously, he's been.
It's that one missed throw, Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah,
right.
That's
in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. One throw away from winning that Super Bowl. But you mentioned obviously AQ will get into it more. The trenches, what they do in the trenches. That O-line is crazy, having all those weapons. But then on the other side of the ball, that defense. You know, they just this is the third game in a row. I believe they pitched second half shutouts on defense. Got a ton of home games left in the home stretch. They're tough, man. They run the ball, physical run game, physical receivers on the outside. They block. They're beasts when they have the ball in their hands. Kittle, like you said, that's a guy that you forget who's arguably coming into this season was the best tight end if healthy. Now, obviously, is Kelsey. But it's just you got your hands full with that team on both sides of the ball, man. So
what do they do if they win? What do they do if they win? That was all I was thinking about. I was on a treadmill this morning, and all I was thinking about is Jimmy G's a free agent at the end of the season. They fuck around and win a Super Bowl this year, which seems like they have the makings to do it. What do? Do you try to trade Trey Lance? You're not going to get 3 firsts. You have to re-sign Jimmy G. What do you think you do?
You got to keep him.
I think you have to.
Yeah, you hoisted Lombardi like you got to keep him. He's looking better, man. He's obviously making throws, and what Jimmy G has always been. Quick reads, quick throws, accurate with the ball in short spaces. But what you saw last night and even some of the previous games is his second reaction plays, like that second or maybe the 40-yard touchdown to Kittle, like him stepping up in the pocket, making that throw before the touchdown to Ayuk. You know, he went through a couple reads, came back to Ayuk. So if he can continue doing that and just, not fuck it up, honestly, with that defense and this run game, those weapons, tough team to beat.
Everybody's saying he's doing nothing. Trey Lance wasn't able to do shit with this. I mean, and maybe it's because he didn't know what he was doing, but Jimmy G wins the Super Bowl with the Niners, AQ Shipley. They have to keep him. And then what do they do with Trey Lance, who they just traded 3 number 1s for, basically? What happens then in the future?
That's a great question. I've been the biggest fan of Jimmy. I love what he does. He's the perfect.
What's your dad text you last night? What's your dad? Did you say your dad?
Yeah, my dad texted me. He goes, "What's wrong with this? Like, this guy's a good quarterback. What is wrong with this?"
The standard Yinzer. I don't know what we're looking for. Oh, this guy does win fucking
This guy does win, right? Yeah, he texted me that. And he's right. Like, I've been a fan of his. He manages the game well. He knows that system in and out. That system is quick throws. So, like, to expect him to be fucking throwing it down the field all the time, like, that's not what that system is. It's run the ball, manage the game, play action, short stuff. That's what they do, and he does it very, very well. What you do with Trey Lance moving forward, get rid of him. I don't know.
Somebody will take a chance on him, though. You look around the league, and what do we have? 12, 13 maybe good quarterbacks. So you're like, we're good with him. So he's probably going to be, if you look at the upcoming quarterbacks in the draft.
Oh, yeah, I guess this year not that good.
Yeah, no. and even who knows what it's going to be the following year. So this guy was a number 3 pick, haven't had a ton of reps under his belt, but somebody take a chance on him.
Drake May's coming out next year.
He's unbelievable.
Drake May, North Carolina.
That's one.
Well, then there's also that other guy.
It's always high.
Next year, Quinn Ewers.
Remember 2 years ago, we had 5, no-brainers. We had Mac Jones,
Zach
we had
Wilson.
Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence.
Zach Wilson, huh?
Just,
Fields.
You know what I mean? Fields.
They did. The Niners looked like we expect the Niners to look. Like the way they looked last night, everyone can envision them making a run, I feel like. Jimmy G is super efficient. I like his quick release, man. I know people they knock Jimmy for whatever. I have no idea why, but that 4 touchdowns, gets the ball to Christian McCaffrey a good amount of times. Like, I like this team. I like their defense. D'Amico Ryans as D coordinator is awesome as well. So this is what the Niners do, though. Don't they kind of round into form usually late in the year when trying to make a run?
That's what the great teams do, and it seems like the Niners have been that. That's why the trade of all the first-round picks for Trey Lance to get rid of Jimmy G was such a big thing. Then the disaster of not being able to trade him with his shoulder surgery, him practicing not with the team but away from the team. And I think my next question is going to lead to whenever we see plays like this. But they were able to get the ball to so many other weapons last night. Ayuk had a touchdown. Debo had a touchdown. Kittle had a couple of touchdowns. Elijah was getting the rock. Christian McCaffrey was getting the ball. It's like they have a plethora of weapons.
Yeah.
And somehow Shanahan's going to have to keep them all happy with the ball. I don't know how you do that. George Kittle getting back into the action on the offense side of the ball, catching the ball is huge for them. To go to AJ's point about rounding out and becoming the best team they could possibly be at this time, Kittle also had 2 of the best spikes of not only of the season, but maybe in football. I mean, his first spike last night hit so flat. And if you ever watch somebody who's trying to spike a ball, you're trying to hit that thing flat off the ground. So then it shoots all the way up in the sky. In that thin altitude, or in that high altitude with that thin air, he hit that thing as square as you could possibly hit. It appears as if it went as high as the fucking upright there. Need to talk a little bit more about the spike and the celebration out of Kittle. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah. Boom.
Oh,
They love him out there.
Still going.
Yeah.
That ball is still going. And obviously he had the Penta Meda Zero, I think is his luchador. He's an AEW, I believe. Luchador gave him a mask before the game, and obviously he's beloved down there, and I think he loves it down there. 2 touchdowns in Mexico is huge for him. But how does Shanahan continue to feed the weapons? And if he doesn't, do you think that'll be drama down the road with having too many options on the offensive side of the ball and only one football debug?
Nah, usually it is, but that was something you heard a lot coming out of the locker room too, and in the media. Like, these guys, they just want to win. They don't care who gets the stats, who's getting the ball. They just want to win. And you got see. And the thing about, they're all talented, but you don't know where Christian McCaffrey's going to line up. You don't know where Debo's going to line up. Juice, one of the most athletic fullbacks in the league. Like, these guys can move all around. They do so much misdirection pre and post snap. It's tough to defend this team, man.
Is this a team, that in the past couple of years have just devastated Packers fans because they just beat the shit? Is this the year that the Niners finally go in the NFC, Ty, you think, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I said yesterday that I thought that, like when the Cowboys played their perfect game, like they might be the best team in the NFC. It's the Niners. Like
who is in the NFC right now best odds? I assume the Niners are up there. The Cowboys are up there. The Eagles are up there.
Vikings.
Did the Vikings just fall completely out of it because the egg that was laid against the Dallas Cowboys? Here's odds of winning the Super Bowl. Bills are plus 400. Now, what does that elbow look like for Josh Allen going forward? They play against the Browns in Detroit. They win. He has great throws. Browns look good. They're still odds-on favorite. Kansas City Chiefs plus 470. I know plus 470 isn't that great odds for a futures bet like Super Bowl, but if you watch them play and see what Patrick and Travis Kelce are doing, plus 470, not bad odds to look at that Kansas City Chiefs team right now. Eagles at plus 5. I agree. I think we're close to that. I think we'll see what happens with the Bills this weekend. I mean, see what Josh Allen looks like this weekend. I think all eyes are on whether or not how Josh is going to play going forward.
Tough matchup.
Eagles at plus 550, Niners at plus 700. They're right next to each other. Then the Cowboys at plus 1,000. So Eagles, Niners, Cowboys on the NFC side have the top 3 odds to win the Super Bowl. AJ, what are your thoughts on that? You think that's right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess right now, but like, would you put the Dolphins at the same as the Vikings if you're thinking of who has a chance to win the Super Bowl? I guess just because the Dolphins have a tougher
Which one would you
road to
put
get
above?
there.
Yeah, because I think
I put
Connor.
the Dolphins. I think better team. I like the Dolphins team, but a tougher road to get there, I guess.
Yeah, I think like Connor immediately would have assumed that the Dolphins would be above the Vikings, not only because of what they showed against the Dallas Cowboys, but because the Dolphins have a lot of weapons, which we're going to start looking at the top of these charts. Seems like weapons is a good thing to have in the NFL, especially this year, and the Dolphins have a shit ton of them. I like that Niners team, though.